Hello and welcome to the 7th episode of Fractured Kingdom. If you haven't yet, please make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all of our new episodes and any other random videos and highlights we put out. Let's not waste any time and jump right into the episode. Last we left off, the Crown Gall was sailing back to Lux after recovering the Axe of Daemo from the Eastern Isles. Tension continued between Ori and the enigmatic Captain Valhal, but after the Isle Runner made it out of the near-constant thunderstorm, the voyage ended with a few days of much-needed calmer waters. Things quickly changed when everyone saw the docks at Lux were under siege by wyverns and dragons. The party killed 3 of the flying creatures before the rest flew off. Ori gave the captain some gold to help offset some of the loss from the voyage, much to the surprise of the captain, and quickly walked away. But with the rest of the Crown Gall saying their goodbyes, the party headed back to the Gloria Road Inn, where they were warmly greeted by the elderly Gloria, who ran the inn with her husband Ralph. At the inn, a blue-skinned tiefling woman gave Ash a note requesting a meeting that night. Maury, Ori, and Michelmas sought out Varole, the head of Michelmas' cleric order, and after a long discussion regarding the axe, the relic was finally handed off to be locked away in the church's vault. The party then decided to enjoy dinner at the inn, but in the middle of their meal, they heard Ralph scream in the kitchen. Gloria and the party ran in, only to find a purple-skinned, tentacle-faced humanoid creature had killed Ralph. In the short fight that ensued, the strange creature ended up teleporting away, but not before Gloria was also killed. And now, with the party standing in the aftermath of the fight, they see the other patron in the inn, an orc, slowly walk up towards the back before seeing the carnage and quickly running out of the inn.
Mickey, is there anything you can do for them?
So yeah, I have one gem for Revivify, so I will go to Gloria, I guess, because she's the one that we really know. And I'll Revivify her.
Michelmas goes over towards the dead form of Gloria and holding the 300 gold diamond, he holds it down onto Gloria's chest, and as he casts the Revivify spell, the diamond is magically absorbed into her body, and after a moment of nothing happening, her eyes suddenly open up. She takes in a breath. She's lying on the ground. She looks around, looks up towards Mickey, and asks, What happened?
Take it easy. Take a moment to catch your breath. I think Ori kind of kneels down at her side and kind of takes her hand and is like,
So you happen to have a 300 gold piece diamond in your stores. Can we get to it really quickly?
What? No. Where's Ralph? Is he okay?
Gloria, you both died. Mickey brought you back, but we don't have the diamond to bring Ralph back. I'm
Wait.
sorry.
What?
That thing, it killed both of you.
Gloria's hands holds yours and squeezes it a little tighter, Ori, as she starts crying.
Ori will kind of like lean over her and like kind of hug her a little bit. And she just kind of like whispers like, I'm sorry, like over and over again to Gloria.
Is his body terribly mangled, or can we make it not so horrible for Gloria when she sees him?
His body's not very mangled, but there is quite a lot of blood that appears to be leaking out of his ears.
Okay, try and clean that up or hide it in some way, if possible.
Looking around, you do see a bucket with a few rags, which you might be able to use to cover up his head.
Yeah, I'll try and do what I can to make the sight of seeing him as easy as possible.
As Mickey is working on making the gruesome scene a little less gruesome, the orc who's in the inn comes back with 2 kingsmen following right behind him, wondering what happened. As both the kingsmen walk in, they stop and see the dead body of Ralph. Taken aback for a moment, as strange deaths like this are definitely not commonplace here, as they both stop and ask, stop, what happened? Are you okay? As one of them looks down towards Gloria, and she slowly tries to sit up, still feeling pretty weak.
Ori will support her and help her up as best she can, but like not try to encourage her to like stay, like try to keep her like seated, you know, like Ori figures she's probably not ready to try to stand up all the way. She'll turn and be like, there was an attack. It was, I don't know what it was, but it killed Ralph and Gloria, but we were able to bring Gloria back, but not both of them. We didn't have the diamonds. You don't have a diamond on you, do you?
Both the kingsmen look very confused, wondering why you're asking about diamonds, but one of them will just say, no, who exactly attacked them?
It's a creature I've never seen before.
It could teleport. It was here and then it disappeared, and it had tentacles and purple skin and.
Both the kingsmen look even more confused. Then one of them will ask, did you see which way it went?
It can teleport. It just disappeared. Or some kind of, you know, plane shit, like changing planes. I don't know.
Right. One of the kingsmen whispers over to the other, and the other one runs out. The other kingsman will kneel down.
I can try to hear what they said.
Make a perception check.
Come on.
Ori unfortunately did not catch what the kingsman said, but as one runs out, the other one will kneel down towards Gloria and ask, do you think you're okay to stand? I can try. And with the help of Ori and the kingsman, Gloria is eventually able to stand and walk over before taking a seat on a chair. After a few minutes, a couple other kingsmen come in, asking more questions about what happened, although it appears they're mostly confused by the witness reports of a strange purple-skinned, tentacle-faced creature, as it's not something any of them have encountered before.
I think Ori will be like, well, us either. We haven't encountered this before either. But, like, Gloria got, like, a good look at it, right? She can corroborate.
Yes, Gloria did get a look at it and does corroborate what happened, although let's have everyone else besides Ori make perception checks. So while Corvus isn't paying too much attention towards the Kingsmen, the rest of the party are able to catch up. It appears a couple of the Kingsmen from the Whisperers are giving to one another don't quite believe what happened. Although judging by what happened to Ralph, they know something serious happened. They're still not quite sure if they believe the party or Gloria.
Are there any, like, suction cup tentacle markings on Ralph's face?
Make
Or
a
neck?
medicine check.
And is it going to the back room? Is there any sign of where the creature came from, or did he probably just teleport in like he teleported out?
Looking in the back room, you do see a side exit into an alley next to the building, which the creature may have entered in through there. Make an investigation check, Mickey. As you're doing that, Ash, as you look at the face and body of Ralph, you do not actually see any suction cup marks on his body. And Corvus, who was perhaps the closest to the creature, would know that there were not actually any suction cups on the tentacles.
And is he still stunned, or did he wake up?
Corvus is no longer stunned.
Yeah, it looks like I made a intelligence save at the end of the last session, I think.
Yes, Corvus passed his int save to no longer be stunned, and then the creature teleported off right away. And Mickey, as you're looking at the door, you're not sure if there was a forced entry or not.
Okay.
Is the orc that went to get the Crown's guard still around?
Do we recognize him as a regular?
You do recognize him as a regular who comes in every so often. You especially recognize him, Michelmas, because he got particularly annoyed at you.
He's that guy.
Yes, he is that
guy.
orc who you were pestering with questions on your last visit into Lux.
What kind of story is he telling?
He tells the Crown Gall, well, Ralph suddenly started screaming, then Gloria ran back and started screaming, then everyone else just ran in, and there was a fight. I didn't really know what to do, so I just sort of waited till it all went down and walked in back and saw Gloria and Ralph on the floor, then got y'all guys.
Okay.
The Kingsman will stay and take a look around in all of the rooms upstairs to make sure there aren't any other random monsters or purple tentacle-faced creatures of any kind hiding out inside the inn. And after completing their search, they are afraid they cannot do a lot for Gloria at the moment, but they say they will continue looking for this strange creature. And after leaving, the orc will take a moment to comfort Gloria before leaving as well.
Was there any sense that the guards suspected us for some kind of foul play at all?
Make an insight check, Ori.
Yeah.
You're not quite sure. It's possible, but you're not quite sure.
At least not enough to arrest us on the spot. So.
On site.
Yeah.
Correct.
Does the place have a basement?
The place does not have a basement. It appears that the back storage room where Mari is currently standing in is the only storage area for the inn.
Well, Varole would probably back us up, right, Mankey, if they want to put this on us?
I hope so, although, all I can attest to his character. We can't give any evidence as to what happened here.
No.
I'm not sure.
What time of the
what to do.
day, night is it? Yeah. What time of the day, night is it?
Right now it is about 8 p.m.
What does Gloria want to do?
Gloria will ask the party, I don't know, is there, I don't suppose one of you would be able to, I don't really have any chance you could help me take Ralph over to Varole?
Absolutely.
Of course. We could set up a watch for tonight as well if that would help.
So you have never seen anything like this before, right? This was a surprise to you too?
No, I've never seen that thing before in my life.
Did you want to do that tonight or tomorrow morning?
Gloria
Bro.
says, well, I don't particularly want to do it tonight, but I mean, I guess with
No, maybe we can find a spare bed sheet or something. We can get him wrapped and put somewhere peaceful and out of the way. And then tomorrow morning, first thing, we can move him. We can get him where he needs to go.
Okay.
Here you stay seated. Just tell me where you keep the extra linens, and I'll go grab something for him.
Gloria will point over towards a closet underneath the stairs over here. Inside there are a mop, a bucket, and some extra linens, which you're
Yeah.
able to use, Ori, to wrap around the body of Ralph.
Yeah. Or he'll try to do like a nice job of it, neat, and then look at Mario and Corvus and like, well,
Let's
can
move him
you
into the storage
two
room.
move him
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll help move him.
like over here, kind of south of Mickey, kind of place, maybe.
Yeah.
Stairs in one of the rooms that's not being used.
Well, then we have to carry him upstairs.
Yeah.
It's also probably cooler on this level.
Yeah, if it's like a pantry kind of situation, it's probably a little better. Yeah, pretty bit cooler maybe.
Yeah.
He won't bother anyone here. Is there anything else you need, Gloria? Do you have any other guests staying the night? Like, do you need help with preparing breakfast or something?
Gloria shakes her head and says, "Well, your group is the only folk who are here currently, and I guess, well, there's not really going to be breakfast tomorrow morning.
No, of
Unless-
course not. That's
We're not
fine.
concerned about that.
Or we'll place a hand over hers. Well, we have rations. We'll survive.
Yeah. Don't worry about us.
I'll bolt close the door, and like if it swings in, I'll move some of the materials in front of it so it's harder to open. If it swings out, then yeah, there's no point in.
The door does swing
trying to block
in.
it. Okay.
So, Mickey is able to slowly move over a large barrel of most likely ale in front of the door to make sure no one on the outside is going to be able to get in with any ease. Afterwards, Gloria will stand and give Ori a big hug before moving off into her bedroom.
Yeah, obviously,
I'll
Ori
get-
will give her a big hug right back.
Thank you so much for your generosity.
I'll do whatever the last rites are.
I want to do a lap around the outside of the inn and just see if I see anything.
Okay, make a perception check, Mari. Looking around, you do see a couple people who appear to be looking at the inn. It appears that word has slowly spread about someone being murdered inside the inn. So Mari does spot a couple Kingsmen who are standing in front of one of the buildings next door asking some questions. So it does seem to be some interest in the inn, but you do not see anyone unexpectedly looking towards the inn or looking with some other purpose.
Cool.
Ori will go to the rest of the party and just say, like, do we want to set up a watch for tonight?
I think so.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can take the second two.
I'll take first.
I'll take second.
I'll take third then.
I guess I'll go last.
Okay.
But I've got that clandestine meeting at midnight at the pit.
Oh, right.
Maybe
yeah.
I can ask around if
Did
it's
Ash mention that
if-
to us at all?
probably not because
Okay.
it was right before the
Are
whole
you
thing
now?
broke out. But yeah, that woman gave me a note that says to meet at the pit at midnight. And I have a feeling it's the Black Rose Guild. I might be able to find out some information. about what this creature was or, why they might be here.
Advise the watcher on that too.
As long as they're not asking for too much in return, I guess. Do you need someone to go with you?
I mean, if someone wants to go with me.
What time is it right now?
By now, I'd say it's closer to 9 o'clock, but hearing about someone needing to go with you, Ash, you suddenly see Dash walk up and give you a big smile with his tongue hanging out his mouth.
All right, you can come. You can come, buddy.
Ruff, ruff!
You sure know how to protect us.
Yes, he's so fierce. Yes, he is.
Dash will roll over to get belly rubs from Ori.
Or will provide them happily. What? It's. Remind me, Jacob. It's a half-hour walk into town from here. What is it?
In order to get to the pit, it'd probably be about half an hour, because it is pretty far away from the entrance to the inner city.
So what? You'll probably be gone for an hour and a half. You think?
Possibly.
Hmm.
At least,
Longer.
at least an hour and a half.
Well, as long as we can set the watches in a way that we all get a long rest, then do what you have to do.
I mean, technically, I can cover the second 2 watches by myself.
I'd help, but I don't know what the math is.
It's 3 hours until midnight. Ash needs to leave at like 11:30, and if he gets back at like 1, he's gonna need to sleep until 9 to get his full rest in the morning.
Hmm.
I mean, we could deliver Ralph's body without him, potentially.
Yeah. And if he,
And he doesn't need to take
Could
a
he-
watch.
yeah, he could just get a couple hours now, get up and go, and then...
Well, I don't think that counts as a long rest, though. You can't, get up and go.
Oh, it can't. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, you can do, light activity for 2 hours, which includes taking a watch, but you can't, go walk into town and have a full conversation, walk back for an hour and a half and be like, well,
Why
now
not?
time to continue my full rest, my long rest.
Have you seen me nap?
It works for me.
But I mean, I feel pretty comfortable taking watch. I mean, I'm hoping we scared that thing off. So if I just end up doing the last 2 watches by myself and just Ash just sleeps when he gets back from his clandestine arrangement, that's probably fine.
If Ash just did the first watch and then went off to the pits. You know,
Sure.
he did a couple hour watch, went off to the pits, and then get up and do the second one with you. Do we have enough then? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine.
Does that work, Ash?
Yeah, fine with me.
Were you planning on going alone? Or do you want
Somebody else go
backup
with you?
support?
I mean, if someone wants to come with me, they can, but
Surprises me that Corvus isn't jumping up to go.
not, I'm hoping this won't be any sort of, kerfuffle. Just a conversation.
You could use backup. I'll go with you.
Okay.
We don't have anything urgent in the morning. We can run our long rest for 8 hours after 1:30, 2, whenever he gets back.
Yeah.
True. All right, sounds good. So, Ash is on first watch. Then he leaves with Corvus for the city. Mari's on second.
Yep.
And Mickey and I are on third, and I'm on fourth. Good. Great. And break.
Okay,
Hands
Ash. Ash, make a perception check for the first part of your watch.
Okay.
Ash keeps a close ear and eye out for anything else that might be going on inside the inn, but no one enters the inn. No one enters or tries to enter in through the side. It's a very quiet night. And right around 11:30, Corvus walks down along with Dash.
Are you ready?
Yep. Not sure what to expect, but definitely secrecy. So keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes open. There was that one person that we saw earlier from the archery tournament. There's a chance we'll be followed, so keep your head on a swivel.
Corvus will just nod.
The Bash Bros, along with Dash, take off into the inner city of Lux. They make their way through the streets, making it over towards the large canyon next to the North District, which is home to the Undercity. As they're making their way down the switchback paths leading into all the different homes and other shops and areas built into the wall of the canyon, they're just about there to the pit, an area which holds no-holds-barred unarmed fighting contests, when suddenly they hear a voice behind them say, "Ahem." And as they turn around, both Ash and Corvus see the blue-skinned tiefling woman still wearing the scarf around her neck, appears to have her arms crossed and is leaning back against a building in an alleyway.
Hey, you wanted to meet?
The woman, whose head is still slightly tilted over to her right, looks over towards Corvus, then back to Ash. Who's he?
He's with me. You can trust him. He's the muscle.
Ash, make a persuasion check. The tiefling looks over towards Corvus for another moment, then looks back towards Ash and says, "If you insist," then
I do.
She'll give a quick movement of her head, pointing over towards the alley, and starts walking down the alley.
I follow.
Yeah, we both follow.
As everyone walks into the alley, following the tiefling woman, she makes a right turn, and after Ash and Corvus and Dash follow, Corvus suddenly walks into an invisible wall.
Can I punch the wall out of frustration?
Yes, Corvus punches the wall out of frustration, and nothing seems to happen, as Ash looks back and sees Corvus punching thin air.
Huh. Corvus, what are you doing?
There's something in my way, and I'm gonna punch the invisible wall again.
There's nothing there, Corvus. I don't see it, right?
No, Ash does not see it.
To prove my point, I'm gonna take a couple steps back and then throw my shoulder into it.
As Corvus takes a couple steps back, he realizes that there's another wall about 10 feet behind the first one. And he quickly realizes he's apparently inside a invisible 10-foot wide cube.
Well, I'm still gonna throw my shoulder against it.
Corvus runs back as far as he can, then lunges into one side of the invisible cube, but nothing seems to happen, besides Corvus bouncing off the invisible wall. It's at this point the tiefling woman will look over towards Ash and say, "Sorry about the bump." Ash, how many hit points do you have?
27. That's my current HP.
Ash suddenly feels a very drowsy sensation wash over him until he's unable to stand or keep his eyes open, and he falls down on the ground asleep, along with Dash. It's at this point Corvus sees two dark hooded figures hop down from one of the buildings next to the alley. Two of them pick up Ash and start carrying him away, while the tiefling woman grabs the unconscious sleeping form of Dash, then looks over towards Corvus and says, "Don't worry, you'll probably be out in about an hour."
I'm gonna stare at her right in her eyes and say, "I'm going to kill you."
Good luck, as she turns and follows the other figures. After an unknown amount of time, Ash suddenly wakes up feeling a large, throbbing pain on the back of his head. As he reaches back to rub his head, it appears he does actually have a bump on the back of his head. And as he looks around, he realizes he's in a cavern that's lit by several candlelit chandeliers hanging down from the ceiling. He looks over behind him to see dozens of figures all wearing dark-colored clothes, most of which are wearing the signature black bracers with the Black Rose Thieves Guild's insignia on them. What's perhaps most alarming is sitting in front of him, he sees Dash off to one side, very happily trying to chew some ham off a large bone, and directly in front of Ash, he sees a large golden throne with red velvet cushions, and relaxing sideways in the chair with both his legs hanging off one of the armrests is a tall, pale-skinned elf with long brown hair. It's an elf who Ash recognizes as Trip, a member of the Thieves Guild who approached the party about a month ago. Trip ended up giving Emma a very generous amount of platinum as reparations because the guild members who kidnapped her were acting against the guild code. Trip also offered a deal to the party where they would stay out of the party's business if the party stayed out of the guild's business. But it appears that deal may be going down the drain, so to speak, as Trip lackadaisically waves a hand in the air, and he says, "And so the sun shall shine upon the garden." It was a bit flowery, don't you think?
I mean, maybe, but did you have to hit me? Couldn't you just put a bag on my head or something?
Hey, none of our people hit you. We just made you fall asleep. It's your fault if you hit your head, really. At which point, Trip will turn and sit upright in the chair before leaning forward, placing one hand on a knee, while his other arm rests elbow down on his other knee, letting his hand hold his head as he leans forward, looking at Ash. And he says, "Now, give us a reason not to kill you."
Because I need your help. I've got questions and I need answers. I'm not trying to interfere with anything that you're doing. But I know that you have a network of people that know things. And I'm looking for information. That's all I want.
Trip will look at Ash for a moment. Ash, make a persuasion check.
$17.
Trip asks, "Is that all you really want?"
I mean, it's the main thing I want.
Hearing that, Trip will smile before leaning back into the throne and asking, "And what else is it that you want?"
I mean, maybe your organization could use someone like me. You know, master archer and someone who is going around traveling the lands. You know, you could use me in your network.
And what if I told you we already had a master archer?
I mean, I didn't see a master archer winning the archery tournament. Last I checked, I was leading.
Ash, make another persuasion check. Trip does not look super convinced, but he will stand up and walk to move right in front of you, at which point he will ask, "What exactly are you willing to do for the guild?"
I mean, whatever it takes to stop evil and injustice in this world. To help those who need it. And to basically just help the organization succeed, whatever it takes.
Trip will start shaking his head as he says, "You know, I'm afraid you don't quite understand what we do here. You see, it's not actually good or evil or the Great War that runs things here in the kingdom. It's not even the king. Do you know what does run things around here? It's coin."
I believe that.
Do you believe it enough to realign your priorities?
Potentially.
At which point Trip will grin and say, "Keeping your options open. I like you." At which point he'll slowly walk around you as he looks like he's sizing you up. He walks back around, then sits back down on the throne. Make an insight check, Ash. As Trip is staring at you, you have a feeling that he's still trying to size you up.
Don't think that I'm material for your little guild here. Why don't you put me to the test? If I pass, you let me in.
Hearing that, he grins, and he yells, "Knock!" And walking through the crowd behind you, you see a short wood elven woman with long brown hair pulled back into a braided ponytail, wearing gray robes and the signature black bracers of the Thieves Guild. You see she's also wearing a feathered gray fedora. As she walks up standing right next to you, Trip will say, "So, what do we say, 10 paces and shoots? I think that sounds fair."
Sure.
Nock turns. Do you turn with your back to her?
Yeah.
Trip will give a big grin and say, "All right, count your paces."
I start counting. 1, 2, 3.
After 3, Ash, you suddenly feel an arrow hit you right in the back of your thigh.
Mm-hmm. I suppose I fall to the ground on one knee. As I'm falling, I want to try to get an arrow knocked in my bow. And then kind of, as I'm going to the ground, kind of just turn and let the arrow fly at Trip.
Okay, after Ash takes 7 points of piercing damage, he's quickly able, as he's falling down the ground, shoot an arrow towards Trip. Make the attack roll, Ash.
14.
Unfortunately for you, Ash, the arrow whizzes right past the head of Trip bouncing off the throne as the arrow clatters down onto the cave. At which point, Trip will just smile and say, "Come on now. Do you really think we'd follow your little rules? You see, that's another thing you need to learn about this kingdom, is that we know when to break the rules."
Why do you think I shot you and not my opponent? You broke the rules, so did I.
Hearing that, Triple grinned and say, "Touché. Touché. Well, I think you might have what it takes to join our little guild here. Knock, why don't you show him his way out? Tell him what his next steps are." At which point Triple looked back towards Ash and say, "You know, Eric was right about you."
Interesting.
After hearing that, Ash suddenly hears a ahem. As he looks, it appears the wood elf known as Knock is looking at Ash and nods her head over towards the exit of this cavern.
1 second. Trip, I got one question for you before I go. What do you know about a purple-skinned tentacle on their face creature? Do you know anything about them? One killed my sort of friend, and I'm looking to get revenge.
Hearing that, Trip will grin and say, "You are more like Eric than you know. I might know a thing or two about such creatures. I'll let you know tomorrow."
Thanks. Then I turn around and limp with my bum leg after Knock.
Dash will follow with the large bone still in his mouth. As you're walking through, you see the same tiefling woman who led you here, only her skin is not blue, but is red, and you see her head is slightly tilted to her right, because it appears her left tiefling horn has been broken off near its base. But as you're walking through, she'll look down towards Dash and look back at you and asks, "You don't by any chance have a portable hole, do you?"
No.
Darren! A dark-hooded dwarf walks up next to Knock and says, "Take the dog, will ya?" At which point, Knock will grab Ash's hand, and Ash sees a large door form out of orange arcane energy. As both Knock and Ash step through, both of them suddenly appear in an alleyway in the Undercity in Lux, right next to Corvus. Corvus appears to be still trapped in this invisible box he was put in before, but he suddenly sees Ash and a different woman, an elven woman, pop out next to Ash.
I start throwing my shoulder and kicking at the invisible wall even harder, trying to get out. I know it's not going to do anything, but I'm just doing it.
Corvus, it's fine. You don't need to hurt yourself.
After another moment, another orange arcane door pops out as the dwarf is frantically trying to set down Dash, who has his teeth wrapped around the arm of the dwarf.
I whistle to Dash. Say, "Come here."
Dash finally lets go of the dwarf and growls at him before the dwarf quickly continues speed walking down the alley, then yells back towards Knock, "Let's go!" Before Nock leaves, she will hand you a small, round, circular stone, a round spherical stone, and she'll say, "I'll be in touch," before walking away.
Okay. I wait for your contact information or whatever. Can't wait to hear from you.
After about 5 more minutes of Corvus continuing to pound through the invisible wall, it finally disappears at some point, and Corvus falls down on the ground.
I knew I could break it.
I'm sure you did. It's all you.
What happened?
No, the usual. Get knocked unconscious. Get into a one-on-one duel with no rules. Got some information, and I may or may not be being initiated into the Black Rose Thieves Guild. Can't say for sure.
Should we tell the others?
Just another Tuesday.
Well, we'll tell them about the information. I don't think they need to know the rest.
I understand.
Secrecy and whatnot. I feel like that's going to be part of the test. If I tell everybody, then they won't let me in. But you are already here, so I think that's fine.
Well, maybe it's for the best if you don't tell me anything else.
I'll tell you what you need to know.
Ash, Corvus, and Dash walk back to the Glory Road Inn. Let's have everyone besides Ash make perception checks for their watches. Everyone is focused in on making sure no more of those strange creatures are able to break into the inn, keeping a close eye out in case any of them try to teleport into the building. But just like Ash's shift, it is a very quiet night. And very uneventful for everyone, except for Mari, who has a strange vision in her slumber. Mari and the rest of the Crown Gall are hiking through a dark, rocky wasteland. A fierce wind howls through the rough terrain and carries a familiar, sinister laugh that slowly crescendos over the harsh breeze. You knew this day would come. Wherever you run, wherever you hide, wherever you crawl, I will find you. You cannot escape the nightmare. Mari, make a perception check.
Oh.
Good.
Mari and the rest of the Crown Gall draw their weapons and look around, trying to find the wicked hag Oskira, the same hag who killed Ori back in Riverville, but Oskira is nowhere to be found. But as Mari is continuing looking around, staying on her guard, she sees too late a small bead of fire fly through the air and land in the middle of the party. Mari, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
No!
this is so on par for me. This is going perfect.
The small bead of fire explodes into a giant fireball, but unlike your previous experiences of being hit by a fireball and seeing what Ori can do, this fireball shoots out a strong force that knocks you and everyone else off of your feet. The cackling laugh rings out once more, and you finally see, standing on a rock, the ugly, dark, purple-skinned form of Oskira with her long, sickly, matted black hair and long red and black robes. She continues breaking out into her echoing laugh, which only seems to multiply as you see another form of Oskira appear, and then another, and another, until hundreds of cackling hags have the Crown Gall totally surrounded. But their laughter suddenly stops as thunder rolls through the wasteland, and a large orange fracture rips open in the air 50 feet above the party. With the party momentarily distracted by the fracture, the horde of hags throw out hundreds of beads of fire towards the helpless Crown Gall. And as Mari braces herself, the fireballs erupt, but she doesn't feel the flames. And as she looks up, she sees floating above the party the shining blonde-haired form of Praise, the Archangel of Protection. Praise is floating above the party with her long, curved, feathery wings and holding up a dome of arcane energy, holding back all of the exploding balls of fire. With a quick wave of her arms, the dome suddenly expands, pushing the fire back into the horde of hags. And with all forms of Oskira disappearing right before getting hit with a rolling fire, the area is filled with a calm quiet as Praise slowly descends down on the ground right in front of Mari. The angel reaches down, grabbing Mari's hand and helping the half-elf up to her feet. Praise gives Mari a soft smile before embracing the paladin in a hug with her arms and her large, curved wings.
I embrace her back and I whisper, "Thank you."
Praise whispers back to you, Mari. Always remember, you have nothing to fear.
You honor me, Praise. Thank you.
It's at that point Mari wakes up from her slumber, and as Ori was on the last watch, Ori hears a knock on the front door of the Gloria Road Inn.
Is there any window I can see out of to, like, see who's knocking at the door, like a peephole or something?
Yes, there is, and looking out through the front door of the window, you see a tall, pale-skinned elven figure who's wearing a dark cloak with a hood up. Even with the hood, you quickly realize it as Trip, the member of the Black Rose Guild, who you talked to on your first trip to Lux.
Alright, Ori's gonna hold Mind Sliver and open the door, like, a little bit. And be like, wait, is Ash back by now then?
Ash, yes, this is in the morning. Ash and Corvus did make it back to the Gloria Road Inn a little after 1 p.m.
Okay.
1 a.m., sorry.
Okay, so she's not too aggro, but she only opens the door like a quarter of the way and is like, "Well, good morning. To what do I owe the honor?"
Good morning. I actually need to have a word with a member of your group.
Did you want to be more specific than that at all?
Oh, no, because I'm sure all of you would like to hear what I have to say.
Oh, well, in that case, she'll open the door all the way and go upstairs to... This is like wake up time, right?
Yes.
So Aura will go to wake up everybody. And be like, "Well, Trip is here. Did you invite him back here, Ash? Like, what's up?"
Yeah, I asked for information about the creature from last night. He said he might have some in the morning.
I mean, I feel like there are other sources we could have
That's
maybe tried
efficient.
first.
Their network runs wide and deep. I trust that they would know what's going on.
Well, I'm obviously gonna hear what he has to say.
As the rest of the party makes it down to the first floor of the Gloria Road Inn, before we get to that conversation, everybody leveled up when they woke up from this long rest, so everyone needs to roll for hit dice.
Yay! Yay.
Hello, Aura of
So
Warding.
I can replace a leveled spell once per level up, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna replace what's it called? I'm gonna replace Arms of Hadar with Silvery Barbs.
You got it.
Oh my
Wonderful.
gosh.
Oh no.
Oh.
You can treat
That-
that one
that
as a
becomes a
3,
three.
Ori.
Yeah.
And the 5 is a 5?
The 5 is a 5, correct.
Okay.
Corvus, let's see how many oodles of hit points you get.
11. You know, barbarians don't do much, but what they do really well.
I finally rolled good. That guy had been rolling like 3s and 4s every time.
As the rest of the party makes it down towards the first floor of the inn, they see Trip sitting in a chair, leaning back, with both of his feet on the table, legs crossed. He gives a big smile towards everyone in the party. And he says, I heard about what happened last night. Please give my condolences to Gloria. Ralph seemed like a good man.
Will she know who we're talking about if we say Trip sends his condolences?
What do you know about Trip and Gloria?
Well, I know Ralph made the best darn pancakes in the city. Now, I'm afraid this is not only a social call. I'm actually here to talk to your pet.
I see.
To Dash?
No, not the animal. Your pet cleric. Mickey, is it? What an adorable nickname for the party
Uncalled
mascot.
for.
Oh, okay, mister.
Not okay.
I ignore him.
You can address our friend as a human being, alright? Or you can leave.
Oh, believe me, you want to hear what I have to say. At which point Trip will look over towards Mickey and say, Big Jaws, does that name ring a bell?
I'll pretend that it doesn't. Why should it?
Make a deception check, Mickey.
Yeah, because I'm so good at those. Oh, 16.
With Ash's passive insights, Ash has a feeling that Mickey actually does know that name. But Trip will continue. Well, you see, Big Jaws was a big-time loan shark out on the West Coast, feeding off on all the deadbeats over there who can't control themselves around the casinos. And after a series of fortunate or unfortunate events, depending on how you look at it, well, it appears that the guild is now running his books. And wouldn't you know, a certain Asimar orphan ran up a considerable debt with Big Jaws.
We taken care of that before I left.
Yeah, it appears that you didn't actually take care of that.
I don't see what any of this has to do with you.
Oh, well, you see, the actual coinage involved in the debt isn't actually a concern, because you see, while money does make the world go round, as they say, there are a few things which are actually more valuable than coins. And one of them is information, and the fact that a cleric of Deo, a symbol of virtue, if you will, towards the common folk, has a reputation of squandering his money, it could permanently tarnish your reputation.
Go on.
Now, don't worry, I'm not going to blackmail you or anything because I'm a businessman and such drastic measures are not needed when we can come to a mutual and beneficial arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there have been several disappearances in Lux's Undercity, in an area close to one of the entrances into the Underdark. And there have also been several strange reports of the strange babbling and gibbering voice echoing through some of the nearby tunnels. And no one really knows the source of all these strange occurrences and whatnot. But the source is definitely not a fracture letting in horrors and aberrations and Deo knows what else entering the material plane from some other plane, because as we all know, the fractures definitely cannot open anymore. And if they could, our wise and benevolent king would definitely not lie to the public about a large potential threat like that. Instead, handle off the responsibilities to old know-it-all clerics collecting more dust than a library's basement.
Rumors are rumors, and no one will believe them.
Perception makes reality. Now, you see, the guild can accidentally lose a few pages in Big Jaws' books if a certain well-received party that the king is totally chomping at the bit to try to recruit into the Kingsmen can fix this little horror infestation.
So, describe this problem. What are these aliens that have been hurting people? These outer terrors, whatever you've called them.
Well, no one who has seen what horrors have escaped out of this definitely non-fracture. None of them have actually lived to tell the tale, but there are legends and myths of back in the early days when the astral plane was still the only plane and there was no multiverse. And Tashawn was jealous of the Gith created by Deo. So Tashawn decided to corrupt some Gith into these weird purple-skinned psionic creatures known as mind flayers.
And
Some
as
of
he's
which
talking-
even grow tentacles from their face.
Okay, so I'm not interested in this for anything, but the tentacles thing is that's obviously interesting. So I look around at the party. What are you guys' responses when he says that?
I'm just eyeballing him. Just really,
So-
really mean mugging him.
So you're saying that creature that killed Ralph last night came out of what may or may not be a fracture? If those things could exist?
Correct, because, as we all know, interplanar travel is only possible through fractures, which are definitely not opening up once again.
So where are these things been happening, and how close to our current location?
Oh, they're happening in the Undercity, here in Lux. You see, to get to the supposed location of this non-fracture, and then he'll spend the next minute giving you directions on where to go.
Marion Ori, when he's talking about the purple beings, does that change whatever you might have been thinking or doing beforehand?
I mean, I think Ori wants to get a feeling like how upfront he's being. Like, how is he holding much back right now?
Make an insight check.
And also, maybe, is he lying about Mickey and his debts?
He's definitely lying about me.
You're not quite sure whether or not he's specifically lying about Mickey's debts. Trip, it's hard to read him. You have a feeling he's a smooth talker. He does things like this quite a bit, but from what you can tell, he seems to be truthful about what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't trust him and I don't like him, but it's not like we're gonna let those things run around anyways.
Yeah,
so
if this is
we might
legit
as well kill him.
information, yeah, I don't want to like let this just continue, especially after they freaking killed Ralph and Gloria, technically.
Mhm.
Well, we've obviously had, as you've heard, an incident here where a purple-skinned tentacled creature has caused havoc way out here to our friends, and we are definitely interested in taking care of that and making sure that problem is resolved and goes away. I have no idea about the other things that you've been talking about there. Ridiculous lies.
But I believe Mickey.
Yeah, why would I not believe Mickey?
Mickey, make a deception check.
Ori bumped into
yeah.
him in the gambling rings. Oh,
12.
dang it! I guess I believe Mickey.
These mind flayers, do you know if they have any weaknesses? Other than Corvus's axe, I assume? Or his glaive?
Trip will grin and say, well, you see, their weaknesses are not really what you should be worried about. What you should be concerned about are your weaknesses, and whether or not you have a strong enough mind to stand up against their psionic power. Because a glaive is only as useful as the person who is wielding it, and if the person wielding it has their brain sucked out of their head, well then, it's not much use at all now, is it?
Corvus is his face is gonna just do the smallest little twitch. But he says nothing.
Or he'd be like, I'm sure we're plenty capable.
Hearing that, Trip will say, great! Then he will stand up and walk towards Mickey and hold out a hand. So, you will take care of this little, definitely not a fracture problem?
Of course. I'm not going to shake his hand.
Trip will give Mickey a bigger smile and then just say, well, I still have your word, and you have my word, which you can trust. And Trip will walk out of the inn.
I do not like that man.
I would very much enjoy feeding him his own entrails.
What happened last night anyways, Ash? With your meeting with... Was it actually with the Black Rose? What happened?
What was it?
Yeah, I mean, we just met up. I asked him about the creature that we faced last night. I figured they'd have some information. And he said he'd look into it and get back to us in the morning. And that's what he
by
did.
back to us, he came back to blackmail Mickey.
Well, I can't say for how they operate, their motives for that sort of thing, but...
And he didn't want anything from you for this?
You just said, you came to the right place.
And now do I believe Ash?
Ash, make a deception check.
Come
I am the most
on!
deceptive. I am the most deceptive.
Ori can sense that while Ash is not technically lying, he's definitely leaving out a lot of key pieces of information.
Ori's gonna speak into Ash's mind and be like, I know that's not the full story. I just want you to know.
Can I communicate back in my head? I could just think it.
Yeah, you can talk back to me for 7 minutes, technically.
I told everyone what they need to know,
Interesting.
and I took care of it. I got us the information.
I think Ori, I don't know, do you think for this, telepathic communication, you can, does it have to be, like, for telepathic speech? Well, I guess it has to be speech. For Ori will say, I can accept that for now.
I'll just say, I'm not the only one that's been keeping secrets.
Oh?
Riddick and Malum?
I was always upfront about Riddick and Malum. I never kept Riddick and Malum from you all. I told you the moment I woke back up.
Let's have
Try
Mickey.
another one.
Let's have Mickey, Corvus, and Mari make insight checks.
16.
12.
3.
As Corvus and Mickey appear to be somewhat deep in thought, thinking about everything that Tripp said, Mari notices the looks being exchanged between Ori and Ash.
What are you two talking about?
We're not. Our mouths are shut. We're not talking about anything.
Wait, so did Ash directly say Malum and Riddick to me? Then
Yeah.
Yes. Well, okay, so then yeah, Ori's like, I was upfront about them from the beginning. What does that mean? That I what do you mean I've been secretive about them?
I feel like you haven't been telling us everything about them.
Well, why don't you ask me sometime and maybe I'll let you know.
All right, fair
And
enough.
then she ends it. And then she ends telepathic speech. So. Or we'll just like look at Mari and be like, what does Ori say? Because has Ori used telepathic speech with Mari before? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think so.
So Mari might not know about it.
Mm.
And
Yeah, good point.
So you can tell that we're like having a face conversation, but I don't know if you'd be able to say like you're definitely having a conversation. So Ori will say, I just don't trust Tripp, so I'm hoping he didn't compel anyone last night. So you were there the whole time, Corvus? You were able to back him up?
No, I was trapped in an invisible box.
Oh.
But don't worry, I broke my way out.
Of course you did.
Very impressed.
All right, well, I think we owe Gloria some help with Ralph.
Oh yes, absolutely. Eat some rations for breakfast.
Yeah. Or we could try and cook something.
Ori did spend one day in the ship's kitchen cooking.
That's funny.
If Ori would like, she can try to look through the kitchen to try to make stew, because that was the one meal she learned how to cook.
I think we should try and throw something together.
Oh yeah, then we can try to feed Gloria too. Sure. What is
Yeah.
there? Is there some sort of roll I should make for that then?
I'll help.
Yes, I'd say make an intelligence check.
With advantage with Mari?
Yes, with advantage.
Oh, intelligence. Oh, intelligence. Oh no.
Out.
Unfortunately for Ori, she did not learn exactly the best way to set the fire or flames to cook the pot, and unfortunately burns the stew.
Oh, I ruined it.
And can Ash just go into the kitchen and see if he can find a ham bone? Just like a big ol' ham that he can grab on a bone.
Make an investigation check, Ash.
We're killing it.
Ash does not find it, unfortunately.
Ori just
Alright.
gives Mari the saddest look, like, I've ruined it.
Well, rations it is.
This is the worst morning to have after your husband dies ever.
We'll clean it up and she'll never have to know.
It's at that point Gloria steps out of her room and asks, "Is something burning?"
Yes, I'm so sorry. I was trying to cook breakfast and it came out horribly. Oh, what do I owe you for the ingredients?
Oh, Gloria will just walk in front of you, Ori, and give you a big hug and say, "Oh, don't worry about it, hon. I appreciate the thought."
Okay, if you're sure. And Ori will like scoop out the burnt food and like prestidigitation in the pot clean the rest of the way. I told you we're eating rations for breakfast.
Gloria will quickly fix a simple, non-cooked breakfast for herself, and with the rest of the party eating their own rations, the party will help Gloria take the body of her husband up north towards the small village of Lorai. And it's at this point we're going to take a 5-minute break. The party carries the body of Ralph as they make the trek up north to the village of Lorai, built around the large cemetery there where Kingsmen and other residents of Lux have been buried there over the past almost 2,000 years. And right after the party and Gloria make it into the cemetery, they see the caretaker of the cemetery, a human man named Dengo, who sees the party carrying a body wrapped in a sheet as he quickly hurries over and asks, "Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. What happened?"
I mean, I think Ori would will give Gloria a moment to take the lead on this, but she says nothing. She'll say, a dear man, Ralph, husband of Gloria, was slain last night, and we are here to make sure he is seen to properly."
Gloria, after hearing that, Gloria just nods, but her eyes tear up. She's not quite sure what else to say. But Dengo will give her a hug and say, "Well, please follow me. Was your husband a Kingsman?" Gloria shakes her head. And after a short walk, Dengo leads Gloria and the party over towards a rather empty section of the cemetery as he grabs a shovel and begins digging a grave.
Ori will help how she can with Mage Hand, I guess.
The Mage Hand does not speed things up a lot, but Dengo will still give you a nod of thanks, Ori.
Probably good at least keeping the dirt neat and, like, you know, out of the way more than actually digging the hole. But I don't think Ori actually grabbing a shovel would be more helpful, so.
And after a short time with the grave dug, Dengo will slowly lower the body into the grave with the help of everyone else. At which point Dengo will look over towards Gloria and ask, "Are there any words you'd like to say?" At this point, Gloria starts crying again and shakes her head. So Dengo takes a shovel and begins filling in the grave.
Ori will give Gloria a side hug and just, as he is being buried, say, "I can't say I knew Ralph as well as I would have liked, but the hospitality at Glory Road Inn and the food therein was always marvelous and a welcome thing to come home to at the end of the day. Thank you for making our time at Lux the best it could be, and for all the people who've passed over your threshold, welcoming them and feeding them in your life."
Gloria will turn to give you a big hug, Ori.
And I'll perform the standard service rituals. Kind of familiar words.
Would anyone else like to speak?
I don't know. I don't think Mari would. But she'd give Gloria a little squeeze.
Gloria will squeeze her hand back, Mari. And with the grave of Ralph filled back in, Dengo will give Gloria another hug. And then say, "The cemetery is always open. Any time you want to come here and talk to your late husbands, the gates will be open for you."
I think, Ori will kind of use prestidigitation to send. She'll set the lights of. She'll kind of like rest dancing lights, like over the freshly turned grave, and then use prestidigitation to send up some just gentle sparks, kind of in a like a gentle kind of blue color, I guess, to kind of just rain down over his grave, and then kind of it all just kind of seems to sink into the earth and dissipate a little bit in kind of a misty effect.
Your classic mournful sparks.
Yeah. They're very sad sparks. They're very sad. Just the saddest sparks you ever did see.
It worked for Dumbledore.
Yeah!
Sad sparks. Those were sad sparks.
With the rituals and the sparks done, Gloria will turn back and head back out of the cemetery. And by the time the party makes it back in towards Lux, it's going to be around 1 in the afternoon. And as they make it back to the Gloria Road Inn, they see at the entrance there are 2 Kingsmen who appear to be holding a chest and are waiting at the entrance.
Interesting.
One of them appears to be a middle-aged human man with short brown hair and a 5 o'clock shadow. The other one appears to be a tall orc wearing very fine Kingsman armor. The party recognizes the orc as the lawmaster in Lux, Sheth.
Hello again.
Hello. Sheth will look over towards Gloria. I heard about your husband. I'm so sorry for your loss. She'll softly say, thank you. And then she will head back into her room. But Sheth and the other Kingsmen will walk in and set a chest down on a table. And Sheth will say, I'm sure you remember the king has a standard bounty set out for dragons.
Oh.
Of course.
Well, on behalf of the king, he would like to bestow this bounty on you and once again personally ask if your group would consider joining our ranks in the Kingsmen.
Sure, I'll consider it.
We work better outside the confines of your strict rules.
Oh.
We
But
can
again,
work.
It's a very kind offer.
We
We're
can work
honored for
more in the
offer.
shadows if we need to.
Hearing
Just-
that, the Kingsman with Sheth will just give a
Does that sound like the things that Ash would have said before?
Make an insight check, Mickey.
I think Ori will.
Ah.
Oh boy.
You don't think it's that odd? You're not quite sure what Ash's real intentions are from that.
Ori will tack on, and we are currently contracted under the cleric Varole through the church. It's certainly flattering that you think us cut from the right cloth, as it were, for Kingsmen, but we do have current ongoing obligations, unfortunately, that we don't want to forsake.
Ari's just constantly in awe of your ability to come up with these things. Like the perfect thing to say. She's just standing over there, like shaking her head, smiling, like, huh.
Yes, the other Kingsman will roll his eyes at that, but Sheth will say, well, I do understand, but if you do change your mind, you can find me at the armory.
Thank you, and it was good to see you again. If only under unfortunate circumstances. And I think Ori will notice Mari like smiling a little bit and kind of blush a little.
And with that, the two Kingsmen make their leave. As the party turn towards the chest on the table, they open it up and they find it holds 4,000 gold pieces.
What? Okay.
We need to get to the blacksmith now. I need armor.
That's 800 apiece, right?
Yes, it is.
Do
And the
we-
party did the party split the chest from the Hague's lair on Fernden?
No, we never went over those details.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so
I've got the
that's
numbers.
it's 680 gold for each, 600 silver, and 600 copper.
What? We're loaded. Or it says, actually, when I was meditating last night, I kind of had an idea for a spell, but I think I need a 400 gold piece worth platinum inlaid vial for it. It just occurred to me that I need a 400 gold piece worth vial.
So I also wonder, do we feel like we need to like help Gloria at all?
I think we
I
could
think
pay
she's-
for some hand to come in, some hired worker
Yeah,
to
if
come
we
in
can help
for
her, pay some.
a couple weeks to
somebody.
get things
How
back
much does
to
it
the
cost to
apartment.
hire someone? Isn't there rules for that?
There are rules for that. I will double check that right now.
Cool. I know it's not like not our fault. Like we don't owe her in that sense, but like I feel like we owe her in the sense that we really like her.
We want to help her. We want to help her. Not like necessarily obligation.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. And here
But
Ori
seriously,
was,
I do want new armor.
and here Ori was like worried she was like giving too much money to the captain, like, oh, I hope I don't miss this 150 gold. Nah, she's fine. We're okay.
So hiring someone to come in to be a cook, you'd probably have to pay them 2 silver per day. If you want someone who's trained, it will probably cost more than that.
How much more?
That depends on the expertise of said cook.
Interesting. I think we can afford to find Gloria a trained cook.
Yeah.
But what if we can't afford to pay them for the rest of the time they work here, though, either. So maybe we shouldn't get her obligated to someone who requires more than she can spare. Unless we're going to commit to hiring this person for her.
There's also the possibility that she isn't going to want to run this place anymore.
True.
So maybe it would be better to just
ask
her, like, hey, do you want help staffing, or can we just, like, I don't know, this sounds awful, give you a little money to help you with whatever you need, kind of thing. Like,
not too awful. Or it'll be like, there's nice ways to say that.
You can workshop that. That's your expertise.
Sure. But we're gonna head into town now, right? So
yeah.
I might want to try talking to her now, actually.
We could give her a day or two to grieve before we push the practicalities on her too.
Well, maybe I'll just check in with her and see if it seems like she'd be ready for that kind of a conversation. And no, that's fine. We'll talk to her about it later. But
okay.
I'm just gonna check in with her before we head to town, at least. Either way. So Ori will knock gently at the door to Gloria's room.
After a moment, Gloria will open the door.
Hi. I just wanted to let you know that we have some business in town, some shopping and whatnot to do. Just wanted to make sure you were okay. Do you want us to, like, lock up as we leave or anything? I don't know if you're ready to handle business right now, you know.
Oh, I will... You don't have to lock up. But I'll be okay. I think I just need some alone time right now.
Of course. So, and you're okay with us still... You're okay with us still staying here, right? Or do you want us to try to find somewhere else to stay in town to give you your space? What do you need?
Oh, Gloria will give you a hug, Ori. And say, oh, you don't have to find another place. You can stay here.
Thank you. But, just wanted to let you know we're gonna be heading out. And, yeah, just, please rest. Take your time.
I will.
Good. And Ori will give her another quick hug before rejoining the party, being like, yeah, maybe I'll talk to her about hiring a chef, later, but let's go.
With that, the party makes it back into the city of Lux.
From our previous shopping trips in Lux, would I have a sense of where to buy a vial?
And I need to do some shopping too.
Yes. You would know that for something expensive like that, if it's for a magical spell, there is the shop which does sell magic items, whose name is
Nook something.
Yes, the Magic Nook.
Yes.
Which might have what you're looking for there, Ori. And Mickey, what was it that you want to find?
I want to get some more diamonds for Revivify, and what did I need for that other spell? I'll look that up once I remember what spell it was and what I wanted.
All right. The West District, the Merchant District of Lux, does have a jeweler shop called Jewelry and More.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm going to want to go there and get several 300 gold piece diamonds.
I would also like to go to this jewelry shop.
Yeah, Ash too,
You both gonna get tattoos?
maybe.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
How much did the tattoo cost again?
2,200.
2,200 gold's worth of gem dust.
Interesting.
Yes, dealer's choice on whatever color you want, but it needs to be the same color and type of gemstone.
Whatever a black gemstone is, I guess. That'd probably show up on my greenish, grayish skin.
Like a black opal.
Yeah, if I can find that many.
Did the gem color make a difference in what its effect was, or?
Yeah.
No, it does not.
Oh, I thought
But
it did.
it will just give you a +1 to any ability score of your choice.
Ooh, you know what? That actually might be worth it for me too. I got a odd number score here. Alright. So are we gonna go to the jewelry shop first?
Sure. I just want to stop at some point at the blacksmith to get armor.
Yeah, whatever is first, kind of as we head into town. Between the I mean, I'm assuming I think the magic shop is further west, so probably
Correct.
the jewelry shop or the armory. I'm not sure.
Correct. And I will say in a couple days or possibly a few days of in-game time, there will be a longer downtime period in case you wanted green steel armor, Mari.
Ooh.
Because I know some other members of the party have talked about potentially delivering or sending gold to other cities, so there will be time to do that in a couple sessions.
Oh, awesome.
But in the meantime, everyone in the party heads over into the Merchant District in Lux and enters into the small Jewelry and More shop, and everyone sees Portia, the elderly halfling woman with her hunched back and large goggles with 5 progressively smaller and smaller monocles, which are currently all pulled down over her right eye as she's squinting at a small rock. But after everyone walks in, she quickly moves up all the monocles and says, "Well, hello and welcome to Jewelry and More. I am Portia Undercobble. How may I help you?"
We
Oh,
need
Portia.
some gemstones. A
Yeah.
lot of gemstones.
Well, you came to the right place. Now, which ones were you looking for?
I need diamonds.
Is this for a ring? Because we do make jewelry too.
Nope, I just need the gems.
And how many diamonds were you looking for?
I'm looking for 300 gold pieces worth for 3 times. So 900, up to 900.
Her eyebrows raise at hearing that and says, "Well, I will double check to see what I have. Just wait here one moment," as she slowly turns around and sort of hobbles through a back door. After about 6 or 7 minutes, she finally comes back holding 2 of those said diamonds and says, "Well, I do have 2 of those diamonds, which should work for your purposes."
Excellent. I will take them. Thank you.
Do you have 2,200 gold worth of amethyst? Something purple?
She says, "Ooh, amethyst. I can double check. Hold on one moment," as she turns around, slowly hobbles in back. And after about another 10 minutes, she slowly comes back out and says, I'm afraid I do not have quite that much in amethyst, but I do have these pieces. And it appears she has about 200 gold's worth of amethyst.
Just 200. Okay. Well, Ori will buy the 200. Is there anyone else who deals in gemstones? Do you know?
No, I'm afraid I do not know of any competitors.
Nope, never heard of them.
So sorry, you said that was 200 gold of it?
Yeah,
of
200
amethyst?
gold worth.
All right.
How much ruby dust do you have?
Well, I currently have 0 ruby dust, but I do have some rubies, which I would be able to turn to dust if you would like, but that would really ruin the shine.
That's fine. How many rubies do you have?
Just give me one moment and I can check, as she slowly turns around, and after about 5 minutes, she comes back out. And she says, I have these 3 wonderful pieces. She has 3 500 gold rubies.
I'll take them.
And she will offer to grind them into dust free of charge if you'd like, unless you want to wait on that.
I'll just wait.
Okay.
Easier to carry the actual rubies than
The dust.
the dust.
Yeah, true.
Plus, Corvus can probably grind them or crush them anytime.
Black gemstones, please.
Ooh, black gemstones. Were you thinking about jet, or what? Was there a specific gemstone you were looking for?
Whatever you have the most of.
Wait, let me double check and see what I have available.
Mickey and I are going to be the only ones without cool tattoos.
Well, it's gonna be
Yeah.
a while for Ori if she has to go 200 gold at a time for this.
After about 10 minutes, Portia will walk back out and say, so I do have a few different options. I have these 2 wonderful black pearls here, which are about 500 gold each. I have this 1 black opal, which is worth about 1,000 gold. And I also have this lovely black sapphire, very rare. This one is 5,000 gold.
Do we know, could you get the 5,001 and grind it
Well,
into
you-
dust and split the dust into 2? Would that
But
work?
I want purple.
Purple.
I'm assuming the cheapest ones are probably the most common. I will take the 2 500 gold gems.
The 2 black pearls, you got it.
Would you be able to place an order for me for a quantity of amethyst?
And also diamonds?
Well, I'm afraid most of what I receive is what people come in and give me, but diamonds are fairly popular, as they are very common in trade among a lot of art dealers. Amethyst, while it is more popular than diamonds, it is not worth as much. But I will still keep an ear to the ground for you on amethyst.
I'd appreciate it, thank you. There isn't another purple stone you'd have more of, is there?
I'd have to go back and look.
If you don't mind, Ori will smile. She'll beam at her.
Oh, not at all, as she slowly hobbles back, and after about another 10 minutes, she comes back out and says, I'm afraid I'm a little short on purple stones at the moment, but I do I did find a couple pairs of earrings that do have purple amethyst inlaid in them.
Oh. How much are the amethyst in the earrings worth, and is it is it a markup for the fact that they're as earrings?
There is a markup on the earrings. Gold earrings with an amethyst inlaid on both of them. They'll run you 100 gold, and the actual amethysts are worth about 30 gold in them.
No. No, thank you. I appreciate you checking so much. And if you could just, if you wouldn't mind, maybe holding on to some amethyst for me when they come by.
I will definitely see what I can do.
Ori will give her 10 gold to be like, you can hold on to amethysts that come through for me, that I can buy them directly from you.
Make a persuasion check, Ori. With advantage, because everyone's been spending quite a lot of gold.
Great. Please. Oh my gosh.
Not bad.
It's not great. It's okay.
Portia will take the 10 gold and says, I will definitely save any. I will definitely keep an eye out and try to save some for you next time you hop on it.
Thanks. Do I believe her?
Make an insight check.
Ah! I do believe her.
She's surprisingly hard to read, this one. You feel like the large goggles are a little distracting, which they seem to almost magnify her eyes. You're not quite sure how to read her yet.
Okay. Or I'll just smile like she believes her completely and be like, thank you.
So I remembered the other thing that I wanted. It's for casting divination. I need 25 gold pieces worth of incense or something to do it. And I was trying to figure out what kind of a divination process we'd do. But I think what I'd like to do is get a little brass brazier that's kind of shaped like a dragon's mouth. And then I'll read the future from the flames that burn inside the mouth and put incense and stuff in there. So, is there a place where I could go to get a fancy brazier?
Yes, for something that specific, you'd probably have to go to a specialty shop in the East District, the upper class district, but you should be able to find a brazier like that.
Cool. As soon as we can go to the armor and whatever else.
Armor in the magic shop.
And you were saying, Jacob, earlier, sorry, that I could get green steel shipped in during downtime? Basically
Potentially shipped, or else if you wanted to, you would have time to go to Twig Springs. You would potentially have time to travel to Twig Springs and come back to Lux.
Okay.
Wow.
Events.
What's the travel time for that again?
Assuming you do not run into any more hags, it'd be about a week to get to Twig Springs.
Oh yeah. That might not be worth potentially running into more hags.
How many hags can there be? I mean,
Don't say that out loud.
You shut your mouth.
I was saying that to be funny, making a joke, not to be like, oh, get ready for more hags.
I know.
Too late. I'm afraid. I'm terrified.
We can go to the magic shop first while I think about what I want to do for the armor.
Okay, with that, the party makes their way over into the eastern district of Lux, and they're quickly able to find the magic nook. And as everyone walks in, everyone sees a short human teenager, looks to be in her mid to late teens with long blonde hair and blue eyes. She gives the party a smile and a nod as she stands behind the front desk. Looking at the counter inside the small shop, everyone sees there are a few different items set up on a shelf behind. The party sees a basic healing potion. The party also sees a few pairs of spectacles and goggles, which they remember seeing before. But the party also sees a large ceramic jug, which they did not recognize from before.
Oh, what is that fascinating picture you have there?
The girl will grab the jug and... Ori, make an insight check. The girl will pantomime speaking out something and then pouring the jug.
Oh.
It's at that moment the party sees Amber, the female hill dwarf who owns the Magic Nook, step out from a back room and watch this as she gives a little ahem. At which point the girl will stop and blush as she sets the jug down, then walk into the back. Amber will step up and say, "Sorry about that. I'm afraid my assistant Marta is mute and probably will not be able to answer most of your questions."
Not a worry. What can you tell me about this vessel you have here?
Well, you see, this lovely jug, if you need one of several different liquids or drinks, you simply speak the name of it, and you'll have it.
So not just water, you're saying?
Nope, not just water. You also get beer and honey and mayonnaise and wine, some basic poison, acid.
Oh. Interesting. And how much does this cost?
Like the poison and the acid, would they be things Ash could put on arrows?
The poison, potentially. But Amber will say, this jug will run you 150 gold.
I don't think I need it.
No?
I mean, unless it can pour out ruby gem dust martinis.
Oh shoot! I'm looking at my Ori has 100 gold piece ruby she can give to Ash. I was just looking through my inventory and noticed that. So, just before I forget, on our way here, I'm gonna take this 100 gold piece ruby off my inventory and give it to Ash.
You want 100 gold for it?
No, you're good. What's
Thanks.
100 gold pieces between friends?
Is that said out loud?
Can this have happened? Can I retcon this, or I would have saved it until after we left the shop? I was thinking it could have happened before we got to the shop, but if it can't have, I'd rather Ori wouldn't have said this in front of like the shopkeeper.
Okay, we can say that happened when you leave.
Okay.
How much is Amber, how much is the basic healing potion?
The basic healing potion will run you 50 gold.
Okay. Well, I'll buy the basic healing potion for sure. One of us will need it.
Wonderful, and I can guarantee you it will taste better than anything that'll come out of that wilting flower across the street.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you had that competitor shop across there.
What's the name of the other shop again?
The apothecary across the street from the Magic Nook is called the Wilting Flower.
You wouldn't happen to have a vial inlaid with platinum worth at least 400 gold pieces, would you? I need it for a spell component.
A platinum inlaid vial, you say?
Yep, worth at least 400 gold.
Well, we do not have that on hand, but I could order that for you.
That would be
We would be able to have that to you within about a week.
Yes, please. What, 50 up front and 50% up front, 50% on delivery?
Yes, and we would need to charge extra for the special order, but it would cost you 440 gold for us to make that for you.
Sure. Or we'll give her 220 gold right now.
Wonderful.
And folks, do we think we need that jug? Should I get that jug?
I mean, if Ash doesn't really want it to dip his arrows in poison, I don't know.
Okay.
Do you have purified food and drink, Mickey? You can prepare that, right?
Yeah, I can prepare that.
So we can get safe water if we really need it.
Okay.
So I kind of feel like no. Unless there's another reason you can think that we would want it.
Well,
I can't think of anything.
yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have amethysts around, would you, for spell components?
Amethyst? No, I'm afraid not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm afraid we do have a little bit of gem dust, but not a whole no amethyst dust, unfortunately.
I appreciate it. And
Do you
I'll
have
be
ruby
back.
dust? That's a spell component.
I do believe we have a few vials with ruby dust. Yes, I can double check for you. She runs back, and after a few minutes, she walks out. I have 3 vials, each with 50 gold worth of ruby dust.
Do you need it for anything, Mickey?
Not at this level, and the spell I'm thinking of requires a lot more. So, do you want it? Go for it.
Yeah, I'll take all 3.
Wonderful. So that'd be 150 gold.
There you go.
Anything else I can help you with?
What are the specs you got back there?
Oh, well, see, these goggles, these will help you remember any old history lessons or magic days from back when you were at Eastmarch, and will help you with any arcana checks. Also give you a hand on identifying magic items. And then let's see, these spectacles, as she reaches down and grabs some of the spectacles. Let's see, these ones will help you with any of your investigation needs, which you do. And then these other spectacles, which she reaches down and grabs. These are my favorites. These will help you appear a lot more charming to people a few times a day.
That's amazing.
Beautiful craftsmanship. But Ori doesn't show much interest in buying any of them.
Oh, why thank you. Yes, these last pair of spectacles were only 150 gold, and the other 2 will be 100 each.
Does anyone else show interest in the spectacles?
I think I'm good.
No, I was thinking about the charm person ones, but I need more help than that. Well, thank you, Amber.
Yes,
It's
thank
nice
you so
to see you
much.
again.
Oh, you are most welcome. Come back anytime.
I'll be back in about a week for my vial.
Wonderful. We'll have it ready for you by then.
Lovely. And then once we're outside of the store, Ori will remember her ruby and hand it to Ash.
Thank you.
I believe you'll use it well.
Well, I will.
And with that, is there any other shopping the party would like to do before heading down into the Undercity?
I'd like to get my brazier and incense for casting divination.
Oh, that's right. Looking around, you do eventually find a specialty blacksmith, which does not make weapons, but specializes in smaller ornamental pieces. There, you will be able to buy a dragon-like brazier with the large bowl resting inside the open mouth of a dragon. That will run you 20 gold, if you'd like.
Absolutely. And then I'll
Very cool.
pick up some standard incense of the 50 gold pieces worth, so I can cast divination at least twice.
You got it. Finding incense in a large city like this is not hard at all, and you're easily able to find it.
What was the cost? It was
20 gold for the brazier, and then however much incense you want to buy.
cool.
Let's get down to the Undercity.
Yep. Here we go.
Do you have enough arrows, Ash?
Yeah.
Trying to protect Mickey's reputation from his totally fake gambling debts.
We are not doing this for anything for me. This is to get revenge on, for Rolf and the trials that Gloria has been going through and will go through.
Yes, of course, of course.
It's also to close the fracture that doesn't exist.
So two things other than me. Not me at all.
That still puts you in top 3 contention.
Yeah, but only the top 2 count.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, my math is off, I guess. But yeah, we'll head to the Undercity.
Alright, so heading south, or heading down on the map, what is the marching order the party would like?
I think Ash will probably go first. I think Corvus and his trap setting off ability should go last.
I'll go first-ish then, too.
Ori wants to go in front?
Behind Mari.
No, we're going down.
We're going
Oh.
down.
Oh! It might be, sorry.
Yeah. Do you have your... Well, must be kind of dark down there, too, I would imagine.
Yeah,
So I have my dark vision, and you have your goggles.
I'll put my goggles on, yeah.
And I have superior dark vision.
We all know you're superior, Ori.
Oh.
As Ori internally brags about her superior dark vision, let's have everyone make an investigation check.
Should have gotten those goggles.
Yeah, I'm good at these.
Oh dear.
I am good at these. 15?
Look at you.
That's really good.
Better than Ash's +8.
How did that happen?
Our 2 guys in the back are killing it.
So after the party heads down into the Undercity, it appears that Trip gave directions on how to find the entrance into the caves of the Underdark that are connected to Lux, but it appears to not give a lot of details on where exactly to go, and relying on the ranger skills of Ash and the eyes of Mari and Ori up front, they're not actually able to... They do not have an easy time on figuring out where to go. However, it is It is actually Mickey and Corvus who hear a faint noise of something speaking in the opposite direction of where Ash and Mari were leading the party.
Oh boy.
Do we hear words, or does it sound like a particular...
It is
Pitch or tone?
too faint at this point.
Oh, point it out to the others so we're quiet. Shh.
As
the
everyone
rest of us
stays
hear
silent
it?
for a moment. Everyone listens in, and everyone does eventually hear the faint echo of voices.
Ori kind of wraps her arms around herself and is like, this sucks.
At that point, Ori hears the voice of Malum in her head say, I mean, it could be worse. You could see the source of the voices.
Well, I'm sure I will in due time. So it will be worse. Thank you for reminding me.
Riddick will say, oh, you're welcome anytime.
I think Ori actually smiles a little bit to herself at that one. And kind of like straightens up and lets go of her arms like, well, I guess we go figure it out.
Would the party like to go stealthily or no?
Yes?
Yeah,
And let's have stealth checks from everyone.
as much as I can.
Does anyone want to cast Pass Without a Trace? Hint, hint.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll
Yay!
cast Pass Without Trace.
Thank you. I'm gonna need
Yay,
it.
Ash! Oh my god. Thank you, Ash.
38.
Holy smokes.
38. Gosh,
16.
why don't you just let everyone know we're here?
Yeah.
19! Ah.
So as the party very stealthily, thanks to the Pass Without Trace spell from Ash, as the party slowly makes their way around the corner, they finally see the source of the weird, strange voices peeking around the corner and walking further and further down this tunnel. The party sees 3 strange aberrations, which look like this strange, almost red-like, taffy-like ooze that is composing this weird creature with dozens of randomly placed eyes looking about, and even more mouths with rows of sharp teeth which are opening and closing and giving out this weird cacophony of noise. Total gibberish coming out of their mouths. But what's also alarming is up on the ceiling of this tall, 20-foot tall tunnel are 3 strange, giant insect-like creatures, but they do not have insect-like wings. They have bat-like wings and a skull-like head.
Oh no.
No, thank you.
Disgusting.
I'll pass. Let's turn around and go.
Yep, we're all gonna turn around and go home.
It's been a pleasure.
And that's the end of the campaign. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Corvus goes home to his mommy.
Shall we press on?
Can we get a surprise round on these fools?
I'd say you'd be able to move 1 square up, and then you could make a surprise round from there.
Do it.
Okay.
I'll move my square.
I moved you, not me.
Oop.
There we go. Okay.
No, stop moving me.
I'm not trying to.
Once everyone is set on the... What was that?
Do I think I can cast Bless without awaking them? Or would they hear us if I started spellcasting?
I'd say that because that has a verbal component, that would potentially alert them.
Okay.
Wait till we're up there.
Yep.
So, with the party rolling so well on their stealth checks. Let's have everyone roll for initiative.
Yes.
Yes, I get advantage on initiative now. Haha.
Oh, snap.
Alright, the first to react is, like most times, the very alert and dexterous Ash.
Alright, I'm going to sneak up 10 feet, and then I'm basically going to cast Hunter's Mark on the red one, and basically say, surprise! As I'm casting it, because there's a verbal component. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a sharpshooter attack on it. And is this with advantage because it's surprise, or not?
It is with advantage, correct. And
Yeah,
also,
so I'll do...
yep.
Yep.
As a reminder, the 3 gibbering mouth creatures are on the ground, but the 3 flying horrors are currently up on the ceiling.
But it's 20
About,
feet up,
yeah,
right?
20 feet up,
Ceiling?
correct.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll do a sharpshooter attack at the red one. 20 to hit.
That hits.
And then it gets Hunter's Mark on it. So 23 damage. And then I will take a second attack, sharpshooter again.
Do you get sneak attack?
No.
Oh, you do
Oh,
get
I
sneak
would.
attack because you were
Because
it's
rolling with
advantage.
advantage.
Yep. So 4 extra. And now I'll do another sharpshooter attack on red.
11 hits.
Ooh.
These are not very
Uh,
dexterous creatures.
So then I get Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer as well. For
Wow.
30, whatever that is.
Oh, sorry.
34.
That's a nice round.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ash pops out, says hello, and fires 2 arrows which sail into gibbering mouths on the closest creature as it spits out this weird, dark reddish liquid from its mouth as it's already bloodied from that. With everyone else, with all the creatures surprised, it's now Ori's turn to go.
Okay. I thought I wanted to do something, but then it was a 40-foot square, not a 40-foot cube. That cube. I'm gonna cast. Yeah, Ori's gonna step here. And then she is going to cast. It seems kind of mean, but she's gonna be selfish. She's gonna cast Hunger of Hadar in the center of all these creatures. 20-foot radius sphere. The noises can be heard 30 feet away, so Ori and Ash can hear the noises of the tentacles
Slurp, slurp.
Oh, you want right there, Ori?
caressing the monsters. Sorry, what?
Oh, you want Hunger of Hadar right there?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right after Ash fires off his arrows, he sees Ori run up right next to him, and suddenly the large sphere of total darkness, which Ash cannot even see with his goggles, and now appeared, in the loud gibbering noises from the 3 creatures on the ground is suddenly overtaken by the weird slurping noise of the tentacles inside the darkness of Ori's spell. Anything else for your turn, Ori?
That'll be all, thank you.
Okay, we now go to Mari.
I'm gonna move up 30 feet.
You can hold an action.
Yeah, and then I'm going to, hold an action to attack the first one that comes out towards me.
Okay, Corvus.
I will do the same thing. Let's see. I will move right up next to Mari, hold an action to attack any creature that comes into my range, which I have a 10-foot range, so basically anything that leaves that sphere is going to get whacked.
Okay, Michelmas.
I mean, could Corvus try to attack that one gibber at disadvantage?
I'm gonna say because Corvus did not see where it was exactly because he was
yeah.
in back, he wouldn't know it was there.
Fair.
So I'm going to move up to here, and then starting at this square, 40 feet back, I'm going to cast Slow. And where is Slow? And so I need a bunch of wisdom saves.
Oh, nice. You won't see it.
Yeah, I don't have to see him.
That's awesome. Okay.
Was the DC 16?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Where's it? Yes, DC 16.
So as Michelmas fires off the slow spell, he does not know what happened because all the creatures are still inside the sphere of darkness from the hunger of Hadar. But hopefully it affected most of them.
And I am done.
Okay, with that, we now go to the start of round 2 with Ash again.
Okay. Just gonna move up a little bit to here. And then, since I can't see anything, I'm just gonna take a bonus action, cunning action, and I will dodge. Just in case something comes at me. And that'll be it for me.
Okay, first up,
2d6 cold damage.
Good roll.
Yes.
so give me 1 second while I double check the effect of the slow spell, since this is this the second time I think Michelmas has used this.
I don't remember using it before.
I think he used it against the manticores.
Yeah.
Alright, so the flying creature will... The flying creature will fly up to right there because it is at the ceiling.
Half its movement speed.
Yes, that was half its movement speed, as quite a high flying speed. I'd say part of it is outside of the sphere where the party knows there's a horror near the ceiling right there, but it's still enough inside of it that it'd still be effectively invisible for the purposes of making attacks.
So it needs to make a dexterity save?
Yes, it would.
Or if it's at the end of its turn, unless it's going to do something else.
Yes, needs to make a dex save, which has a -2 penalty because of slow.
Yes! Ha! Another 2d6 acid damage? Cold damage. Oh, sorry. Oh no, yeah, this is acid damage. The first one is acid cold, the second one is acid.
Wow.
Yeah.
And with that, we now go to Ori's turn.
Oh, it's
I think the creature needs a wisdom save for the slow at the end of its turn.
Oh, that is correct.
To-
Thanks for that.
Free.
So I can't see this one that just took the acid damage.
I'd say you saw one of its long legs pop out for a moment.
So can I try to hit it with Mind Sliver?
I'll say yes.
Okay, then that's what Ori will do is Mind Sliver.
That's an int save, correct?
Yes.
Oof.
That horror is not having a very good day as it takes 6 more psychic damage.
So now it'll have -6 on. Well, I guess it would be if it was a dexterity saving throw, but it's a -1d4 plus -2
Correct.
essentially. Sick.
Anything else for your turn, Ori?
Wait, so does that mean that that this thing came into Corvus's range then? Can that
Because it's on the ceiling, no. It's still flying basically
right, it's still
up
20
above
feet
the
up.
ground,
Right.
correct.
Then yes, that is all for Ori.
Okay, the gibbering mouthers have a 10-foot movement speed, and so it cannot actually make its way all the way out, so it will take 4d6 damage.
So you don't need me to separate the cold and the acid?
For the gibbering mouthers, no.
Oof.
2d6 for this flying horror?
That gibbering mouther is still slowed, and then the next one will also take... Yes, 2d6 for the next one. This is the orange one, the one that is not slowed.
Perfectly average.
The party suddenly sees one of these flying, hideous insectoid creatures fly up right next to the ceiling, right above everyone. It is going to open up its jaw and give out a frightening screech. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Ooh, this is not gonna go good for me.
Oh!
Ash and Corvus get +3.
Yeah, still not gonna help.
11.
Oh no.
So everyone except for Mari is now frightened of this horror. Which means you have disadvantage on all attack rolls against it, and you cannot willingly move closer to it.
Okay.
And with that, we now go to Mari.
Is it still? I can't hit it with my. Can I jump and hit it with my sword?
I'd say it's still going to be, the bottom of it's still going to be 15 feet up off the ground, so you're not quite going to be able to reach it.
Okay.
Your next metal armor, get it spring loaded, so you've got.
Right. Can I? Let's see here. I'm wondering if I can compel duel it.
Sweet.
Hold on, let me put it in the chat. I'm looking for. Does it have to like know? Like English, I guess. Yeah.
Common.
Well, of course, it's not on there.
The creature does not need to know a language, because it is compelled by a divine demand.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna compel duel it.
Yes.
So it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
And
Unfortunately for you, the horror shakes its head and is able to resist the effect of her spell.
Okay. So that's my bonus action. I will move. Can I take a wild swing into the, even at disadvantage, into, can I move up here, take a wild swing, and see if I hit that mouthy one that we knew was over in that direction before?
I'd say yes at disadvantage.
Okay.
Mm.
10 still hits.
Yes!
Snap.
Okay. So that's 13 damage, and then, I'll smite it.
Get it.
For another 9.
Mari takes a big swing with her sword into the magical darkness from the hunger of Hadar, And she knows she hit something, but she's not quite sure the effect it had.
That's right, I'll take it. And that's my turn.
You still have your second attack if you'd like.
Oh, that's right. We'll try it one more time.
Oh.
9.
That hits, and after the second strike, Mari sees the red, now liquefied body of the gibbering mouther collapse down on the ground right next to her.
Oh, dang.
I yell back, I think I got one!
Oh, wow, they're going down easy.
And that is my turn.
That will take us to Corvus.
Orange is on the ceiling, right?
Correct. You are also frightened of it and cannot move closer to it willingly.
All right. So I'm gonna equip a javelin. And since I do that, I can only make one attack, right?
Correct.
All right. I'm gonna enter my rage, pull out one of my javelins, and chuck a javelin at it.
Okay, make an attack with disadvantage.
Ooh.
That will
And
still hit.
Rage damage only applies to melee weapons, correct?
Correct.
So 14 damage to it.
Dang.
And that's all I can do on my turn.
As you throw the javelin, you see as the javelin lights up with the divine radiant power, the flying horror lets out a loud scream, and you see the radiant damage seem to be more effective than normal against it.
Oh, and I can make a wisdom save at the end of my turn to see if I'm still afraid of it, right?
Correct.
All right, wisdom save.
+3?
+3.
Well, I still had it at disadvantage, but 18.
Yeah, Corvus is now no longer frightened of the horror, seeing it as vulnerable to radiant damage.
Awesome. Oh, I'm gonna get
Heck
him.
yeah.
That will take us to Michelmas.
I'll cast Aid on Corvus and Ash and Ori, and I'll point at the orange one and tell Ash to shoot it dead.
Okay. I'll shoot an arrow at it. 21.
That hits.
Are you afraid of it?
Oh, Ash, that would be disadvantage, correct.
Oh, because I'm afraid of it. Let me
Sorry.
try again. 17
Ah!
to hit?
That still hits.
Okay, so then that will also get Colossus Slayer on top of that. For 18 damage.
While the creature was bloodied already from the javelin of Corvus, it's still not quite dead yet. Although the party does see the weird sickly purple blood drip down and puddle underneath it.
Okay, and then I am done. I get a wisdom save for my scarediness.
Yes, you do.
Nice.
Michelmas
Seeing
is now
everybody's
no
glad
longer.
it,
Yes,
I'm
Michelmas is now
feeling
no
great.
longer afraid of it. The next flying horror takes 2d6 cold damage, but is just able to fly out. And with that, it is going to open up its mouth and let out its own frightening screech. So,
Ah, heck.
I need everyone to make wisdom saving throws again.
Ooh.
16?
Corvus has
So
+3.
+3.
18.
Oh, I'm not in your thing anymore, so
Oh.
13.
So it appears while Mari was able to succeed against the first one, she's unable to succeed against the second one, as Mari is now afraid of this new horror which flew out of the hunger of Hadar.
Do you get your own aura, Mari? Don't you? So when
I do, yes,
I know
but
it still fails.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
I'm pretty sure at level 10, paladins are just outright immune to fear.
Yeah, we're getting there.
The next gibbering mouther is not able to exit the hunger of Hadar and takes the full 46 damage.
Oh, did you roll a save?
And a save, yeah.
Haha. Ha!
You're just cleaning up, Ori.
This is a good situation for this spell, and I'm enjoying it.
That will take us to Ash.
Did I happen to catch if the red one that Mari killed, did I happen to notice if that one is dead or not?
Yes,
I
you
know
did
now.
notice it, because it did fall out of the Hunger of Hadar.
Okay. So then I will bonus action move Hunter's Mark to the purple one. And then I will take an attack with my longbow.
Ooh!
Beautiful.
Sweet.
Right. I think that hits.
Let me double check the math here. Yeah, I think that hits.
Okay, so then I'll get Hunter's Mark on it times 2. And then had that one taken damage inside the Hunger of Hadar already?
Which one was this
Could've.
again?
The purple one?
Purple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so then
They've all
it'll
taken
get,
damage. They all
yeah,
have
so
taken
then
damage.
it'll get Colossus Slayer times
Yes!
2 as well.
Do you get sneak attack because you're right next to Corvus?
No, the creature has to be within 5 feet of
Got it.
somebody, and if he's still on the ceiling, then... it
Oh,
wouldn't.
yeah, I forgot I was listening. Sorry.
41 total? If my math is
Oh.
right. And then I will shoot at it again.
That will
For
hit.
15 more.
It only takes Ash 2 arrows to almost completely kill this, but thanks to the damage from Ori's spell, 2 arrows is all it takes. As the creature flies out from the Hunger of Hadar, gets hit, then falls down skidding right between the legs of Corvus.
And then are the
Yes.
people who were afraid no longer afraid?
Yes, and that means Mari, who was afraid of that one, is no longer afraid of it.
Yeah, Ori's afraid of
Hey.
orange.
Yeah. And then I'm still afraid of orange, so at the end of my turn, I'll make another wisdom save. 12.
Should've
You are
looked into
still
my-
afraid of it, unfortunately.
Yep.
Dang. 2d6.
Nice.
Yes.
This next horror will fly out. Seeing Mari and Corvus right next to it, it's going to fly down and try to make a swipe with its claws at Mari,
Yeah, that hits.
which will hit. And as the claws rake through in a gap in her armor, Mari takes 8 points of slashing damage and 11 points of psychic damage as she feels her mind ring with pain.
Oofda.
So that'll take us to Ori.
Okay, Ori's gonna mind sliver orange. Decent damage. Ha! And then I do a wisdom save. Ugh.
Ori is no longer frightened of that horror, which is barely able to fly now, thanks to your spell.
Nice! That'll be all for Ori. 2d6.
It actually takes 46 as it's still not able to get out of the Hunger of Hadar.
Ugh.
Amazing.
Oh, love to see it.
And it is still slowed.
Technically, you can't see it. I think that's...
You love to not see it.
You love to not see it.
Yes,
The
this
longer
horror,
it's in there, the better.
yes, this horror did not like getting hit with your spell, Ori, so it's going to fly down right above you and make a swipe
Fair
with its
enough.
claws at you.
Silvery barbs. As a reaction.
So we'll roll again and we'll still hit.
Dang it. Alright. I can still choose a creature within range to have advantage on the next attack roll. I'm gonna give it to Mari.
Thank you.
So silvery barbs is not a waste, even if it ends up not working.
Yeah, so even though Ori's side and mind get wreaked with slashing and psychic damage, she's still able to give some inspiration towards Mari.
Wait, do I resist psychic damage now, I think?
Yes, you do.
Yes!
So that's 5 psychic damage you take. And with
Heck
that,
yeah.
it is now Mari's turn.
Okay, and you said pink flew down to hit me, so it should be within range, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Okay, and I get advantage on this first attack. 16.
16 just hits.
Oh shoot, I should have had advantage on saving against frightened. I need to remember that.
So that's 8, and then... Has this one been hit really yet?
It is bloodied.
Okay, so I'll smite as well for another 15.
Woohoo!
1 strike is enough, as with another radiant strike, with them being vulnerable to radiant damage, that one gets cut into ash and dust.
Oh shoot, I need to do a concentration spell. I mean, concentration save for, what's its toes?
Hunger of
HOH.
Hadar?
Hunger of Hadar. So that's a con save, right?
Correct.
Okay, we're good.
And then I don't think there's anything that I know I can hit with my second attack. But maybe I will go over. I'm gonna run back. 15, 20, 29. I'm gonna run back over here so that I'm here with orange. And then bonus action, I'm gonna use my harness divine power to get a second level spell slot back. And then that is my turn.
Do you have a second attack?
You do have your second attack still.
Is that
Ground.
Oh, is that on the ground? I thought it was still flying.
It,
So,
it,
yeah.
it, it just
You
hit
just clawed
Ori,
it.
so it flew down within
Correct.
your range.
So I will try and attack it.
Nice.
17 to hit for
That
14.
hits.
And then does it look bloodied as well?
Yes, it does.
So I'll divine smite it. I'm gonna do it at a first level. For another 5.
And with 1 strike on that one as well, another one of these flying horrors gets turned to dust by the divine smite of Mari. And with that, the other gibbering mouthers are just able to get out of the Hunger of Hadar before they fall down, dissolving from the damage.
Yes!
That's an
That's
excellent
horrible.
Hunger of Hadar spell.
I just want to see the damage. Okay, 5 and 7.
That was like perfect use of that spell.
Oh, so much fun.
Well,
Oh.
mixed with slow, it was just like a meat
Yeah.
grinder.
Yes!
Plus slow. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Beautiful.
True
I just
MVPs
wanna,
tonight.
before we move on, I just want to say I want to go pick up my javelin because I'm running low on them.
Ori needs an eyeball for for her component. So, do these gibbering mouthers have tentacles?
Looking at the remnants of them, there is no form to their bodies. They're just red puddles. So no.
Okay. Okay, so there's no eyeballs or
Eyeballs
tentacles.
left? Oh.
There are some eyeballs left, but
Okay.
no body parts left.
Ori will scoop up an eyeball.
You can
Yeah,
have
but-
one gibbering mouther
earlier-
eyeball to your inventory.
I am doing so. Dropping that into the bag of holding. I think I got rid of my other eyeball doing something. 'Cause I thought I had one, but I think I did something with it. Unfortunately. But yes. Moving on.
Is anybody hurting? Or did we do that fairly?
Ori's at
Dash will walk up
43
to
out
you,
of 50.
Michelmas, and demand some pets. Because he's hurting emotionally right now.
Our emotional support dog.
Ori's at 43 out of 50, which is not like terrible, so it's no big if you want
I'm
to
at
save a spell slot.
40 of 59, but I use save your spell slot and I'll lay on hands myself for 10. Rather we be ready for whatever's coming next.
I'm at 52 out of 52 thanks to Aid.
I'm at 43 out of 55 from aid. How long does aid last again?
8 hours.
8 hours. That's a long
Oh,
time.
okay.
All right.
For the sake of time, does the party want the same marching order as before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The party continues slowly making their way through the tunnel. Let's have everyone make stealth checks again.
So we don't have path without trace, right?
You do not
No,
because
'cause
Hunter's
it's
Mark is
concentration.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, this is gonna be
Oh
bad.
my goodness.
It's a 4.
So as the party continues making their way through the tunnel, they're able to make it towards the entrance of a large cavern that is lit up by a large silver-colored fracture that is slowly humming with energy. As they look around, everyone sees glittering along the walls several patches of amethyst crystals, which are purple color is shining from the light. But the party also sees hanging upside down from the ceiling a strange four-legged creature with long legs that look like they're stretching, holding the weight of it as it's hanging down. This weird creature has a thin body and a long neck, but the party does not see its face, only the back of its head, which has long, sick black hair. But as Mari stops from the shock of seeing such a strange abomination, the neck quickly twists with a crack, and the party sees the head has no face, but just a giant hole holding dozens of eyeballs, a few of which drop down on the ground from the quick motion. And as the front of the head looks down over towards the party, Maury and Ash realize their magic weapons appear to have lost their magic powers.
Ori just needed to have eyeballs.
Hey,
So let's have everyone roll for initiative again.
Don't put this on me. I need to reload the page. It's
Also, to get a better look at what this looks like, because the art is awesome. Here
Oh,
it
that
is.
is so cool.
holy smokes.
I
Yeah.
would say that for flavor, my stealth was so bad because I saw the amethyst and went, Ori, amethyst!
Oh, Ori also got excited about the amethyst until she saw the horror hanging from the ceiling. Could I cast Earthen Grasp out of the ceiling?
And this ceiling, I'm going to say yes. But before Ori can do that, it is
Yes,
Corvus
sorry.
who is first to react.
Alright, well, first things first, I'm gonna enter my rage, of course.
How tall
it's-
is the ceiling?
The ceiling is about 20 feet tall as well, but the creature, its head is hanging about 10 feet off the ground. So everyone should be able to run up and jump up to swipe at it.
Like a pinata. The eyes are the candy.
Meant to get to this spot, so then with my reach, I should be able to whack it.
Yes, you can.
Then I'm gonna make 2 reckless attacks at it.
Get it.
And I'm gonna smack him.
Smack him real good.
Ooh.
25.
That hits.
Whoops. Forgot to add the rage damage. So 14 slashing and 8 radiant.
Is it -1 because of the magic not?
It is
Yeah,
actually -1. It appears you do not get the magical or radiant damage as well, because whatever weird effect from this, it's stopping all magic effects
What?
that are within its sight.
Only be 13 slashing damage. Okay. So then I will make another reckless attack. 16.
That one, unfortunately, will miss, as you're not quite able to jump up high enough to hit it with your second strike.
That is my turn here, because there's nothing else I can do.
Okay, Mickey.
Move to there, And then I will cast second level bless on everyone but me.
As you try to cast the spell, you are unable to cast any spells right there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
This is not good.
So do I lose the spell slot, or I
You
just
do
can't
not
cast
lose
it?
the spell slot because you're incapable of casting spells at all.
Okay. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I can't move anymore. Shoot.
Oh my gosh. Do I like see that Mickey can't cast spells?
Yes,
I'm-
Ori would have seen that.
Okay. Then I guess I'm done.
Okay, Mari.
I'm going to run up and attack it. So it's a 24 because it's a +1.
Yes, that will hit.
For 9, Radiant won't hit. The smites won't work. I would know that the smites wouldn't work, correct?
Seeing the radiant damage not go off from Corvus' attack, yes.
Okay, so I'll just try and hit it again. Another 24 for another 11, so...
10.
Oh, 10. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so
The
Mari runs up, not trying to smite, but still trying to whack at this strange abomination hanging down from the ceiling. With that, we now go to Ash.
Okay. I'm gonna run in 30 feet. And then I'm just going to attack it twice with my longbow.
Ash, as you move right there, you realize that you appear to be out of the anti-magic effect.
I'm outside of it.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to then bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on it. And then I'm going to try to hit it with my longbow. 18.
You mentioned that
So-
you feel like you're out of the anti-magic.
20.
Sorry.
I have magic! 20 to
You
hit.
know!
I got the magic in me!
What was the D4 from?
Bless.
No, Michelmas' Bless did not work.
work.
Yeah,
because
it
he was in the
never mind.
anti-magic area.
Yeah, never mind. So I have 18 to hit.
18 will still hit, though.
Okay, so then it does 14 plus the Hunter's Mark of 1. And
It was damaged, so you do get Colossus Slayer.
okay. And then the sneak attack go off as well. I don't. Are they within 5 feet?
With Corvus's reach weapon, yes.
Okay. So then they get the sneak attack on top of that. So 24 total. Then I'll attack it again. 17 to hit.
17 just hits.
Okay. And then that gets Hunter's Mark for 12 more. And that's it for me.
Ash is able to run out of the invisible anti-magic cone emanating from the creature and fire off 2 good arrows. That'll take us to Ori.
Okay, Ori is going to dash. Does she feel like she's out of the cone?
Yes, you are. It appears there appear to have been a cone emanating from it aimed right at the entrance to the cave.
Okay, then she is going to quicken cast Earthen Grasp.
So while Ori is able to create the earthen grasp out of the ceiling, the strange creature is able to avoid being grabbed by the claws. Alright, so this creature is going to... This creature is going to move over here, which will provoke an opportunity attack from you, Corvus.
Get him.
Sorry, I had to toggle off advantage.
That will hit.
So I think I'm still in that anti-magic field.
Yes, you are. The anti-magic cone is now aimed at everyone but Ori.
So then it is 14 slashing damage.
The weird horror is then going to make 2 attacks with its claws down at Mari. So first attack will miss as Mari is able to reach up and block it with her shield. The second attack will also miss as Mari is able to parry it with her longsword. And as it's trying to reach down to attack Mari, we go to Corvus again.
Okay. Then I'm gonna move here and make 2 reckless attacks with it, and I'm gonna use my Great Weapon Master too. $18?
That hits. And stepping to the side right there, you are also out of the reach of the magic cone.
6 radiant. And I will do the same thing for my second attack. 14. Probably
14,
no good.
unfortunately, will miss. It was able to recoil after your first strike and avoid getting hit with the second one, but his first one still dealt a lot of damage.
My bonus action to try and hit it with the blunt end of my glaive. Using Reckless Attack and Great Weapon Master. Aha! Take that. For another 26 damage, bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
How would Corvus like to do this?
Holy smokes!
Nice.
So if it's hanging from the ceiling and its head is just there, I mean a big baseball swing, and its head goes flying off, and it whizzes right past Mickey's head.
Watch it.
Corvus winds up a big swing with its glaive as a weird opening just holding all the eyes. All it can do is turn to watch as it gets hit with the glaive, and the head goes flying, leaving a trail of eyeballs right past Mickey before the head smashes into the far wall. And with that, the cave falls silent.
So is this thing a rift?
Yes, it is a silver-colored fracture.
I think Ori wants one of this thing's eyeballs instead of the gibbering mouther eyeballs, so she's gonna get rid of the gibbering mouther eyeball and pick up one of these eyeballs.
Mari's gonna try and scrape like 4,000 gold pieces worth of.
Yeah. Also, can
Amethyst
I somehow
stuff,
get get amethyst?
You said crystals, right?
Well, amethyst is a crystal, right?
Is it a gem
Yes,
or
purple
crystal?
amethyst will work. So you can add
Crystal
one
gems?
Woe Strider eyeball to your inventory.
And can I use my my earthen grasp to like break off pieces of amethyst?
Yes,
Nice.
yes, you can.
Yes.
While you're not able
I
to,
have my dagger.
while you're not quite able to get 4,000 golds worth, you are able to get 2250 GP worth of purple amethyst.
Nice.
Did you want any of this, Mari?
You take it.
Okay. It's more than I have more than I need now. Cause it's 2,200 that I need, right?
Correct.
Cause I'm at 2,450 now then, of amethyst. So I have 250 extra.
That'll be something you can use it for.
We'll figure it out.
So, get rid of the rifts before. Is that just to dispel magic? How have we done that? I'm forgetting.
That
Yes,
was still magic.
think it
before
was.
you use
Magic.
dispel magic to close a rift.
Do you have that prepared, Mickey?
I do.
Yay!
3rd level or 4th level?
I would just throw it 4th. Honestly, I would hit it with a
Yeah.
4th.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. So 4th level spell to take it down.
As Mickey uses the dispel magic spell using a 4th level spell, the party waits for a moment until suddenly the fracture crackles and seems to open up larger before suddenly imploding and vanishing into nothing.
Phew.
Yikes!
And with the
I'm glad you
relief,
can do that, Mickey.
yes, and with the relief of the closed fracture, we're going to end the episode here.
Yeah.
What a
Good
night.
episode.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we will see you next week.